Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about the Olmec civilization, one of the most mysterious but influential cultures in ancient Mesoamerica. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. The Olmec art that survives today, like the colossal stone heads, have some unusual features that many say actually share more similarities with African art, leading to a popular theory that the Olmecs were not native to the Americas, but were actually explorers who crossed the Atlantic Ocean from Africa. What do you think? Could Mesoamerica's mother culture have actually been founded by ancient African explorers? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Today's word is Olmec. O-L-M-E-C. The word Olmec comes from the Nahuatl language, the language spoken by the Aztecs, and it translates to rubber people or people from the land of rubber. This name was given to them centuries after their civilization had vanished. The Aztecs called the region of what is now Mexico along the Gulf Coast, where the Olmec civilization had once thrived, they called it Olman, which meant the land of rubber. This area was rich with rubber trees, and people there were known for harvesting latex and producing rubber. Interestingly, we don't actually know what the Olmec called themselves. Since their writing system has not been fully deciphered, their true name is lost to history. The name Olmec was coined by archaeologists in the 20th century, borrowing from the Aztec term for the region. So while we call them the Olmec or the rubber people, it's a name given to them by a later culture, but inspired by one of the most important natural resources in their homeland. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about the Olmec civilization. Number 1. The Olmec are considered the mother culture of Mesoamerica. Before the famous Maya and Aztec empires rose to power, the Olmec laid the foundation for much of their culture and society. Flourishing from approximately 1500 BCE to 400 BCE in the tropical lowlands of south-central Mexico, the Olmec were true innovators. They developed what is believed to be one of the first written languages in the Americas, created complex calendars, and established extensive trade networks that stretched for hundreds of miles. Their influence was so profound that many of their ideas and traditions were adopted and adapted by nearly every civilization that came after them in the region. Elements of Olmec culture can be seen everywhere in later Mesoamerican societies. For example, their religious practices, which included the worship of a powerful were-jaguar deity, a creature that's part human and part jaguar, became a central feature in the pantheons of later cultures. They also oriented their cities in alignment with the stars and built pyramid-like structures for ceremonial purposes, an architectural and cosmological practice that would be famously expanded upon by civilizations like the Maya and the Aztecs. Number 2. The Olmec transported massive stones over 90 miles to carve their colossal heads. One of the most awe-inspiring achievements of the Olmec is their creation of at least 17 colossal stone heads. These sculptures, ranging from 6 to 11 feet tall, are carved from single blocks of volcanic basalt. What's truly mind-boggling is that the nearest source of this type of stone was in the Tuxtla Mountains, more than 90 miles away from the major cities like San Lorenzo. Without the use of wheels or large domesticated animals to pull heavy loads, archaeologists believed the Olmec managed this incredible feat using a combination of human power, log rollers, and large rafts to float the gigantic boulders down rivers. Each head is unique with distinct facial features, expressions, and headdresses, leading scholars to believe they are realistic portraits of powerful Olmec rulers. The effort required to quarry, transport, and carve these stones speaks volumes about the levels of social organization, engineering skill, and political power the Olmec civilization possessed. It was a monumental undertaking meant to immortalize their leaders and project their authority for generations to come. Number 3. The Olmec were among the world's first chocolatiers. If you love chocolate, you have ancient Mesoamerican cultures to thank, and the Olmec were among the first working with cacao. Archaeological evidence from Olmec sites has revealed traces of theobromine, a key chemical component found in cacao beans, on pottery dating back as far as 1500 BCE. This suggests that the Olmec were one of the first civilizations to process and consume cacao, the raw ingredient for chocolate, but their version was very different from the sweet chocolate bars we enjoy today. The Olmec likely prepared cacao as a ceremonial beverage. They would grind the beans and mix them with water, spices, and perhaps chili peppers to create a frothy, bitter drink. This beverage was probably used in important rituals and consumed by elite members of society, like rulers and priests. The Olmec valued the cacao bean not just for its stimulating properties, but also for its spiritual significance, a tradition that would be carried on for thousands of years by the Maya and Aztecs. And if you want to learn more about chocolate, check the links in the show notes. I did an episode covering fun facts about chocolate a while back. Number 4. The Olmec invented the famous Mesoamerican ballgame. The legendary ballgame, played in stone courts across ancient Mesoamerica, has its origins with the Olmec. In fact, their name, the Rubber People, is directly linked to this invention. The Olmec were the first to figure out how to process latex from rubber trees into a durable, bouncy, solid rubber. The oldest known rubber balls in the world were discovered at an Olmec sacrificial bog called El Manatee. For the Olmec, this wasn't just a simple sport. It was a deeply symbolic and ritualistic event. While the exact rules are unknown, carvings suggest players hit the ball with their hips and that the game was associated with religious and political life. The ball court itself was seen as a connection between the earthly world and the underworld, and the game sometimes involved high stakes. I'm talking ritual sacrifice of players. While such a high stakes game seems unfathomable and kind of horrific by today's standards, the tradition of the ritual ball game would become a cornerstone of Mesoamerican culture for centuries. And our fifth and final fun fact for today: the reason for the Olmec civilization's collapse remains one of history's great unsolved mysteries. Around 400 BCE, after more than 1,000 years of cultural dominance, the Olmec civilization declined and eventually vanished. Their major cities like La Venta and San Lorenzo were abandoned and their influence faded. What's so puzzling is that there's no single clear reason for their collapse. Archaeologists and historians have proposed several theories, but the exact cause remains one of ancient history's great unsolved mysteries. Some theories point to environmental factors. Volcanic eruptions in the region may have covered farmland with ash, or the rivers they relied on for transportation and agriculture may have silted up, changing their course and disrupting the Olmec way of life. Other scholars suggest that internal conflict, civil war, or rebellion against the ruling class could have led to a breakdown of their society. It's likely that the truth is a combination of these factors: environmental stress and social unrest. Now for some news you can use. The next time you're at a museum looking at an exhibit of ancient cultures, look for connections between different cultures. Particularly, try to find the through lines, the inspirations that happened where a mother culture like the Olmec influenced later cultures. When you're looking at artifacts from civilizations like the Maya or the Aztecs, challenge yourself to spot the Olmec influence. Ask yourself what elements here might have started in an earlier culture. For example, if you see a carving of a feathered serpent deity like the Aztec god Quetzalcoatl, remember that the earliest known representations of this powerful symbol are found in Olmec art. If you see a jade carving with a downturned mouth and almond-shaped eyes, you might be looking at a stylistic choice that originated with the Olmec's famous were-jaguar motif. By actively looking for these connections, you move beyond seeing each artifact as a standalone object and begin to see the beautiful, interconnected story that makes up human history unfolding right in front of you. Now for the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked if Mesoamerica's mother culture, the Olmec, could have been founded by ancient African explorers who had crossed the Atlantic thousands of years ago. Well, after decades of research, this idea has proven to be a fallacy. While the theory is intriguing, there is no archaeological, genetic, or linguistic evidence to support contact between ancient Africa and the Olmec. DNA studies have consistently shown that the Olmec were genetically related to other indigenous American populations. Also, the artifacts, architecture, and language of the Olmec all have clear roots in the Americas. So, why do the heads look the way they do? Archaeologists and art historians explain that the features, like the broad noses, the full lips, are not evidence of African origin, but are instead realistic portraits of the actual Olmec people. These physical traits are still commonly found among modern-day indigenous inhabitants of the very same region in Mexico. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about the Olmec civilization with me today. Be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.